Welcome to my channel. This is Nomadic J. If this is your first time, please consider subscribing, liking, commenting, and click that notification bell for the next video. This video is kind of like my parting video from DR. It's kind of what I try to do every time I leave the city after being there for a month or so. It's try to give my, thoughts, last impression, whatever you want to call it. Just things that I thought about while I was in the city, and this was no different. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Again, thank you for watching. Let's go with the first one, El Conde. El Conde is a street. As you notice, if you know, I'm in the DR, and I pretty much stayed in the Zona Colonial. So, and the Zona Colonial is pretty much a popular tourist area where most of the sites are located. And you can see that a lot of my videos are centered around the El Conde, which is the street. I really like that street. I'll be honest with you, there's nothing really on it that's unique. I mean, there's no stores or food places that I keep wanting to go back to because it's so good, and I think it's a great place. I don't think there are any, not in my perspective, I didn't find any place that fit that category. But I think just the whole vibe of the street itself that keeps me coming back. I mean, I've walked on the adjacent streets, the streets on the either side of El Conde, and I walk them, and for some reason I feel like I'm in a different city, a different part of the city when I walk on those same streets. So there's something unique about the El Conde that makes me, I know it's really the people. The vibe of the people. I mean, it's a unique vibe, and you only can get it from just being on the street. So I really enjoy that. Let's talk about money exchange. Now obviously I got better along the way with money exchange, but in the beginning, money exchange is a little different for me. I guess my mind was thinking differently than when I was in the South American country or Mexico, where, like in Mexico, a dollar is about 20 peso. In Colombia, a dollar is about, 3,800 peso. But here, it's different. You have to think different. And I learned that the hard way. I actually was at a little local, kind of like Kamado is what they call them here, or a tienda, or a store, buying some basic item, and I wanted jelly. And again, $2.40 for jelly just didn't seem odd for my brain at the time, until I got to the front and she said the price was $4 something. I said, what? But jelly, now granted, I bought the jelly because I've never paid jelly for that much for jelly. Even, nice, expensive jelly in the U.S. I won't pay that much for jam or jelly in the United States. So to pay $4.50, I said, you know what? I need to learn this money real quick because, and that's when I realized things are kind of high. So food, even cheap, simple food can be rather high. There are probably meals of the day around here, maybe under $5, maybe. I didn't find many. Maybe one place that had kind of cheap food, but there's no really meal of the day that's, well, you know what, there probably is. I just didn't really see a lot of it. So I did find the food a little more expensive than probably what I was used to. Seemed somewhat on par with the States, to be honest with you. So anyway, speaking of food, let's talk about water. Now, listen, in the States, there's this water called the Sunny. The Sunny water. I hate the Sunny water. I would drink CVS or Safeway water over the Sunny water. So when I first got here, I went to the local Kamado store, and that's all they had. I said, oh man, they got this Sunny water. They had no other option. But it was cold, it was hot, I needed water. Then I brought it home. I said, oh man, it's a different bottle, but it's different than Sunny water. Anyway, so I drank the water and found man, this is really good water. So the Sunny water in the DR is actually good. If you, like me, hate the Sunny water in the U.S., I don't know, it seems like regular, nice, cold water, or regular good water, even when it's to room temperature. The Sunny water in the DR is so much better. tips, to some of the locals. Now, granted, I'm in the tourist area, but regular people live here. This is not all tourism. I mean, although this is where a lot of the tourist sites are located, I mean, regular people in regular neighborhood live here. And what I did find in the beginning, I don't see it as much now, but it did kind of shape my thinking a little bit, is that when I probably went out, I think one day I came back from the Malecon, and I was walking through El Conde. Now, granted, El Conde is probably a tourist magnet for people looking for handouts anyway, so maybe that's the problem. But I saw this guy on the street, and he stopped me. And now, granted, I just came from Cartagena, so I'm already aware that people were looking to sell something. But I think just the strategy of what they use is a little bit different than what I expected. Now, granted, I heard that that nothing's just free here, but I don't think I knew what that meant. So there's one guy stopped me, and I guess he probably saw that I probably were looking for something to eat. And he was suggesting of a restaurant, on this other street, which is nearby. And I said, okay, just tell me where it's at. I asked him, I said, just tell me where it's at. And he said, no, it's over here, and you shouldn't be having a problem finding it. So anyway, he said, I'll follow you, and I'll take you there. I said, oh, okay, no big deal. You know what I mean? I'm heading kind of that direction anyway, so maybe he can point it out. He pointed it out, and he wanted to show me another place, where there were other things at. We won't talk about that here, but he showed me another place there was other things at, which was nearby. I said, oh, okay. So again, me thinking out of a kindness of his heart, he just kind of showing these, places, because obviously these are people he know, and he's trying to bring them business. That's the way I looked at it. So he showed me the other place, and it's so beer. That's, you know what, let me just have a beer with him right now. So maybe that was my way of kind of thanking him for helping me out. So anyway, we went back to the El Conde, and he pretty much told me that he works for tips, and he was looking for a tip. I didn't argue with him. It was no big deal. I gave him 100 tip, whatever, a couple dollars basically. Even though I just bought him a $3 beer, which is 600 pesos basically. So right then and there, that kind of like set the stage, like, okay, just, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but just be honest, just understand that some things are just not free. So anyway, let's talk about the noise level in the neighborhood. Oh man, I'm gonna have to show you images for this one. I mean, I heard about some of the neighborhoods can be really live, is what I was told. But then again, I lived in DC for 20 years, so I know some live neighborhoods, or loud neighborhoods. So I didn't really think much of it, you know what I mean? But I think this one, some of these neighborhoods, at least the one I stayed on, the street I stayed on, took it to a new level. Let me just show you some of the images of different things that I experienced. I'm gonna put some caps at the bottom so you know exactly what I'm talking about. Disculpe. Gracias. Alright, so there you go. That's the noise that I have to deal with every day, 24 hours a day. Well, not 24 hours. It seemed to happen mostly in the evening, so it's not like it happened all the time. But it did happen every day, and it did happen for a few hours, so I had to just deal with it. But for the most part, the night times were always cool. Trash collection, I liked the system, at least in that street, but I did notice that that didn't seem to be the same in like nearby a barrio like Barrio Chino, where trash collection, at least on my street, was every night. Now maybe there's a reason because of the street and a lot of the gutters, and they don't want to get clogged up, so they pick it up every night. So maybe there's a reason why it's happened, at least where I'm at, and not in some of the other areas. So I find that cool. Back to tour guides. There's a lot of tour guides in this area. So if you see a lot of tour guides just, they're there to make money. Some of them are high. I think I shared one in my video where I did the video on the Fortaleza, the fort. There was a tour guy there, and he wanted to show me everything for like $40. Oh man, was it 25? I think it was $40. Anyway, I'll make sure I share some of the image of him. But again, tour guides just, they're not really doing anything for free, and they tend to know dates off the back of their head. It's almost like they're on automatic. Just some of them are automatic. They just start talking dates. I mean, I had one the other day when I was on a Malecon, just all of a sudden just asked me where I was from, wanted to show me that he was vaccinated, and he was a really nice guy, and he showed me he was vaccinated, and then he started asking me where I'm from. I said, well, I just came from basically Washington, D.C., and he started hollering off dates in D.C. Now, I don't even know some of the dates in D.C., to be honest with you, so it shows that he's in that automatic mode to give you dates, time and dates and everything. So before he got too far, I said, I've been here for a while, so I kind of know everything, because I didn't know how much longer. I mean, it happened twice. I actually had somebody to walk with me all the way to the market in Chinatown, trying to share dates. I had to kind of like come up with a story that I had to go back to pick up money or something that I didn't have, so I can kind of get rid of him, because he was looking for a tip, and I knew if he walked with me the whole way, he would have expected a tip, especially if he shared dates. So that was interesting. Uber driver, I didn't really, other than the initial issue that I had at the airport with the Uber driver making adjustments at the airport. I shared it in my first video. Long story short, he gave me a price that was quoted, and all of a sudden I got messages back and forth, and we end up going back and forth and coming up with a price. But inside the city, just did not be a problem. If you're inside the city and just taking it to Uber, there's no cash necessary. It seemed like they already wired to, okay, you got your money, the thing is on file. So, and Uber was pretty cheap inside the city. So Uber was no big thing inside the city. But I've heard stories where, some only want cash, or some would try to negotiate with you. Again, I experienced that from the airport, and I've heard that being a story outside the airport. The Malecon is beautiful. Obviously, if you've ever been to the Malecon, but again, it's just weird. There's a lot of pollution over there, and it can be really, really loud, during traffic. But pollution is not so bad, but definitely the noise is definitely high. And crossing that thing is just like a nightmare. Oh my God, there's one overpass. Why there aren't more overpass, I don't understand it. why there's only one overpath, you know, for the road along the Malecon. I can't think of the road right now, but I'll make sure I put it down below. Why aren't there more? I mean, I as a tourist, if I was staying in those hotels, I do notice that certain times of the day, it's obviously less traffic, so it's easy to cross. But my gosh, you know, if you decide that if you don't go at those time of the day, then it can take a while to cross that street. So, anyway. Motor of course, you got to watch them. They're on the sidewalks. They ride everywhere. You got to watch them. Got to watch them. Got to watch them. Got to watch them. The motor conchos in there. So, I think that's pretty much it, guys. Again, I enjoyed it. It was really, I had a really good time. It's a nice little country. You know what I mean? I didn't really experience a lot of the beaches, but I had just come from Cartagena, so I wasn't really beach, you know, focused. You know what I mean? But I'm sure there's a lot of beaches to probably check out. So maybe the next time I come to the country, I'll focus on some of the beaches, you know, outside, you know, up north and Punta Cana and Puerto Plata and all those places like that. So anyway, thank you for watching, and I will definitely see you in the next country. See you in the next one.